What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of January 6th America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
I had really one of the great rallies I've ever had in Alaska, which is a state, by the way. It's one of our states. Not a lot of people know that.
Yes.
But I got to stare at Sarah Palin's ass. I said the F word on stage finally. And
Which F word are we talking about?
the one that means strong sex.
Okay.
And not with a gay butt. And I talked trash about climate change. I did. It was one of the great rallies. It felt good because I was really back in my. I would say I was really back in my element. And I don't want to get into it now, as was discussed before. We will be doing a special live episode on July 28th, where we will euthanize my great friend and the late incredible person who is, and I don't even want to talk about it much this episode. I know there's some people going, sir, we love your stories about the great Shinzo Abe. And by the way, did you notice I've given him the new title, the Great? He's in rare company.
I see that.
And he was the great Shinzo Abe, and he will forever be known as the great Shinzo Abe on this strong podcast.
I'm sure he'd be very proud to be in the great presence of the great Jeffrey Epstein.
And well, it's the great. Okay, well, you don't even know the show. It's Sir Jeffrey Epstein, and it's the great Fred Trump. But I guess you're new here. I guess you're new to the show. And I'm out of respect for, we called him Honest Abe. Out of respect for Honest Abe, I'm going to be nice to you, even though every ounce of my very strong being wants to fire the hell out of you. But it was a disgraceful, sad thing that happened. A very sad thing, one of the saddest, to be honest. And he was one of the only world leaders that I both respected and liked. And he will be missed. But it's too soon to talk about it now. So we were dedicating on July 28th, the live episode. So people should get on that Patreon if they love their president, if they love their podcast, and they want to show respect to the great Shinzo Abe, they will join the Patreon, and we'll be having a very respectful memory service for the great Shinzo Abe. And we decided to call it Shinzo Abe Palooza in a very respectful tone to celebrate the life and legend of a great person, a great friend. And I can only say this, that at my golf club in New Jersey, where I'm currently staying to avoid the disgusting Florida weather, we have been serving Chinese food all week in honor of Shinzo Abe. Awesome. And playing K-pop. We're just trying to show respect for the great Japanese leader that he was. And so he will be missed. And I'd like to move on now from this because it's very soon. They're doing a strong memorial service for him in Japan. And we will address this later with our great Patreon patriots on July 28th.
And it'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Is that correct, Mr. President?
9 p.m. It'll be 9 p.m. because we have to make special arrangements for that important show. But it was a very, when melanoma came in, I was still sleeping. It was, I was taking a nap or whenever the time it was. And she came in and said, Shinzo. And I said, I don't understand your accent. And then I turned on the news and I saw that she meant Shinzo Abe. And very sad, very sad. And I know that everybody listening is probably thinking, well, sir, We want to hear great stories, and there'll be time for that to reminisce during our euthanization. When we euthanize him, which is what you do at a strong, powerful funeral, you give a euthanasia, and we will do that. We will do that with the highest level of respect at Shinzo Abe Palooza.
Well, I'm looking forward to Shinzo Abe Palooza, and that will be July 28th, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, Mr. President, I know January 6th committee does not rattle you. You're not scared of them. You think they're a joke, but there are more people coming out testifying. Pat Cipplone, White House counsel, testified in private to the January 6th committee.
What a disgrace for an Italian to do this in a week where you lose a guy from The Sopranos and you lose a guy from The Godfather, the great James Caan. Okay, because it had two A's, so you say Caan. Not a lot of people know that, but James Caan, great actor, not even Italian, by the way. He was one of your people. He was a Kushner. But he did a good Italian. I'll tell you that. He was very believable because he hit his wife, and that's what you do when you're Italian. When you're a Kushner, you divorce your wife. You just say bye-bye. But Italians, they do it differently. They stay married. You don't want to get divorced. Strong Catholic. Instead, you beat your wife, which is called very strong Christian.
Did not know that.
And for Pat Cipplone, who I don't know very well, I don't even know what the hell he did. Did he get coffee? But for him to disgrace Italian legends like James Caan and Paulie from The Sopranos, it's already a tough day for Italians. And then Pat Cipplone says a bunch of nonsense to the fake committee.
Since it's nonsense, would he still be considered a rat in his neighborhood?
Oh, he's going to be sleeping with the Go Fishes. That's for certain. You don't rat out your strong, honest president. And it's also, I know I said I was going to talk about it, but it's like so low class. I lost a great friend. The world lost great mob actors. And Pat Cipplone says, no, it's okay. I have no class and no heart and no courage. He's like missing all the things from The Wizard of Oz. And, hopefully they pour water on him and he goes bye-bye.
Are you nervous that he has any information on you? So you consider you did work with him.
I think it was called White House Counsel, which is like what, a butler? What did he do? He didn't do anything.
I'm sure you saw him in day-to-day operations, no?
Well, I saw him try to grab Hope Pick's ass, and I said, get in line, Pat.
I didn't know about that. How about someone who is a little closer to you? Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. He was White House.
Was he that? No. Wasn't he the comedian that Seinfeld hated?
Steve Bannon? I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, so I think I'm getting a call from the Kushner Council. They are revoking your Kushner status for not knowing a Seinfeld reference.
I never got into Seinfeld.
Okay, well, I think I'm the least of your problems this week because I think formerly tough Bibi Netanyahu as king of the Jewish people is probably going to send a nuclear missile your way and say, no, I don't appreciate that type stuff.
Because I didn't watch Seinfeld. You've seen a few episodes. I don't know. Just never.
Oh, it's that's okay.
I didn't know you were such a big fan of Seinfeld.
Oh, it was just sort of one of the biggest shows in the world.
No, I agree.
Okay. No, it takes a job of, I don't have to fire you because you're going to be murdered by Mossad. So That's okay. I will go to sleep tonight with some McDonald's apple pies, and I will sleep very well. And I will say, BB's Death Squad is going to come for tech stuff. And they'll probably leave you a DVD set of Seinfeld on your casket.
That's very nice of you. I've seen it before. Like I never watched it religiously, like lots of people.
No, you clearly didn't watch it religiously, because if you watched it religiously, you'd be a good Kushner.
I also would know the reference you're talking about.
Well, that's what they say. Have you ever been to a bar mitzvah?
I have been. I had a bar mitzvah.
You had one?
Yeah.
I prefer to go to bat mitzvahs. I think they're much harder. But I went to many bar mitzvahs, and you read the Torah. That's Torah. This is like the book. And then you quote Seinfeld, and then they say, okay, let's have a party. And they have a great party. So I think you had a fake bar mitzvah if there was no Seinfeld.
I had a bar mitzvah. My theme was actually tennis. I used to play a lot of tennis. That was the theme for my bar mitzvah. Not golf.
Oh, Bjorn. Well, now your name is Bjorn Borgowitz.
I've seen pictures of you playing tennis. You play tennis, don't you?
A very strong tennis player.
Yeah.
I say too much. They sometimes say, sir, you have too much power.
Now, did you watch Wimbledon at all?
Who?
Wimbledon. It's one of the major tennis tournaments played in England on grass.
You know what? I don't do marijuana, so I prefer not to watch. I like tennis without drugs.
Gotcha. Let's get back to Steve Bannon. He was your chief strategist. You guys work very closely together. He is going to testify now. They're getting everyone who's very close to you. They've gotten your family, close associates.
How exactly can you trust these people? How can you trust these people? They worked for me, and now you're going to say, "Oh, they're going to be a very strong witness."
I agree. You can't trust really any politician. You don't know what to believe. So,
Steve Bannon is a very smart, very dishonest, very ugly person, and I don't know why you'd trust a person like that. Oh, I think I see somebody who was. So I see that somebody's back for another January 6th attack on the podcast, a peaceful protest.
Yes, he it's summertime, late bedtimes, I guess.
Well, you know what you should probably be doing? Showing him some Seinfeld episodes.
It's not a bad idea. It's better than showing him Scooby-Doo. He's gotten very scared of Scooby-Doo recently.
You know what one of my law firms was? Kramer, Levin, Naftali, and something else. And I picked them simply because Kramer was on Seinfeld.
Mr. President, I have to go help my son or he's going to poop his pants.
Well, everybody, do you see what's happening? Excuse me. You finally get a podcast that you always wanted. Just the smooth sounds of still your president, Donald J. Trump. And now tech stuff, this is what happens when you don't show your strong Jewish son Seinfeld before bed. He feels less Kushner, and he says, something's wrong, sir. I have to poop my pants because I'm not being raised properly on a steady diet of Seinfeld so that I get references. But I hope everybody out there. Oh, look who's back. Backstreet's back.
So Steve Bannon does not make you nervous. He worked very closely with you testifying. Do you really think everything is going to come up empty at the end, Mr. President?
I think it's going to be empty like Lauren Boebert's brain and ball bags near Marjorie Taylor Greene when she's at her gym. All going to be empty.
Like your analogies. I want to know what you think of this development. The majority of Democrats want a new candidate in 2024 over Biden. That can't be shocking to anyone. The dude turns around and shakes Ghost's hands. He falls off his bike. He misspeaks multiple times. Looks like he's having a reboot or a stroke. What happening sometimes? Who do you think the Democrats are going to want to run in 2024?
I think some people want Pete Buttigieg to run. And he's very he seems smart. I give him that. He seems smart. He's very gay, but he seems smart. They might want Buttigieg. I could see Bernie Sanders at 94 years old showing up and yelling very strongly, and Crazy Bernie. They might want to put Crazy Bernie in there. Pocahontas Warren, I think some people might like her, but I think it'd be Crazy Bernie, Pete Buttigieg, because Kokomo Harris is a total non-starter. She is, I think she's a nice-looking woman, and that's all she's got. She's totally empty. But I would say Buttigieg or Crazy Bernie, and maybe, and I wouldn't mind this for personal reasons. If Sleepy Joe decides not to run because he's taking a forever nap, then I could see Gavin Newsom in California. Very tall, he's good looking, not as good looking as me. But how about that? If it was me versus Gavin Newsom, the 2024 race would be between two people who had fucked Don Jr.'s wife in the ass. Or girlfriend, fiance, whatever they're calling her, gargoyle.
That's how they bill it.
How about that? How about that? The battle for Gargoyle's asshole.
But, okay, I was going for alliteration, but no.
Actually, how about this? The battle for Garghole. We combine it. We combine it for branding. Garghole. If you're doing strong titles, Garghole.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell Garghole.
Now, do you think there's any shot of
a three-way? Like during the debate, they bring Gargoyle out, and all of a sudden we say bipartisan and start doing a devil's triangle on it while Don Jr. cries into his cocaine.
And that's how both parties unite.
We bring it together.
Do you think they would have, like, you were never a politician, you were a businessman, reality TV star, movie star, and president. Do you think they would have a businessman, maybe like a Bezos type or an Elon Musk type, or maybe even like a Leonardo DiCaprio or some kind of actor who's very outspoken? Do you think they would go that route, the Democrats, and having something very non-traditional like the Republican Party has done?
No, I don't think so, because the Democrats, they're weak. They want somebody who can do the job. And you eliminate so many talented people when you look for people with qualifications and skills. You're like binding yourself. It's like, we need somebody with experience who knows what they're doing. Well, that's stupid. Why would you want that? You want a winner. So they'll probably end up going with somebody like, oh, I understand how government works. I've been a diplomat, I've been a business leader, and I've been a senator for 15 years. And and nobody wants that. The Rock should win. Yeah, that'd be interesting. The Rock.
Who do you think would win if you went against The Rock?
Well, I would win,
and I would take him out.
I would destroy him the way he destroys the feelings of acting teachers.
How do you think you would do versus Matthew McConaughey?
I would take a bongo and hit him over the head with it and say, go back to Texas, you useless piece of abs.
And how about if you went against like an Elon Musk or a Jeff Bezos? Because you can't say you have more money than them. So what would be your diss to them? Because they would say, oh, I'm wealthier and I've done more than you.
Okay. Can you imagine? I got a lot of money, tech stuff. I'm a billionaire. But there comes a point where you have so many billions that you have no social skills, you have no truth social skills, you have no common sense, you have no people skills. Can you imagine Bezos, that weird, oddly muscular little bookseller, getting up there and giving a speech to a crowd? They'd be like, who's this weirdo? And don't get me started on Ethan Musk. That guy, they may love him on Twitter. They may love him in tech spaces.
Isn't he pulling out of Twitter?
Well, he's not, well, I never pull out, but no, I'm saying he still has a Twitter account, tech stuff.
Right, yes.
A lot of followers there. Now, the point is, even Joe Rogan's podcast couldn't save him if he had to get up and give speeches. He's so weird. He's a weird, dull, ugly man. And that's not what people want in their president.
No.
So basically, what I'm telling you is 2024, it's going to be President Trump. It's just a question of who I get to beat.
Would you be campaigning with this podcast possibly?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Well, do you think maybe we can possibly hit some cities and record some live podcasts possibly?
Well, I mean, maybe if some of these losers would give 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, we could know that we have, we're not talking to dead people. We can do a tour of funeral homes. This is why you didn't give us 5 stars, because you're dead. Okay, that explains it. Forgive me. Okay, so we will be touring funeral parlors for all our strong fans across the country, unless you start giving some strong 5-star reviews on Tim Apple Podcasts.
Now, Mr. President, I have 2 more topics I want to talk to you about. One is kind of political, one is not political at all, which I'm curious to hear your opinion on. Before we get to that, like Mr. President announced, we have the live Perfect 10 Patreon episode Q. It's going to be Shinzo Abe Palooza, and that's going to be July 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're making it 9 p.m. West Coast people. Hopefully it's a little later for you getting out of work. East Coast people, it should be fine for you. But it's going to be July 28th. Join the Patreon. Lots of patrons come in the last 3 weeks. You've been telling everybody, check out the $5 level, binge it, and people have been commenting on the Patreon. So we appreciate all of you. And join at patreon.com/MPGA. It's patreon.com/MPGA. And Shinzo Abe Palooza on July 28th. Do not miss it. And please come pay your respects. Now, do you know, I think we spoke about her one time when she was arrested. Brittany Griner, WNBA player.
That's Melatonin's son, right?
No. This is a WNBA player. On the offseason, she plays in Europe. She plays in Russia. And she
it's a 6'9" person who's from Russia who plays in Europe. Oh, it doesn't sound at all like Barton. Brittany Melatonin. Yes. What happened to
him? She pleaded guilty. I think she had under a gram of weed oil. I don't know if she was going into Russia or leaving Russia, but she had under a gram. She's pleading guilty, and social media is lighting up saying if this was LeBron, they want to make a trade, I think, for some Russian arms dealer we have in prison. And people are saying if this is a male basketball player, someone huge like LeBron or Durant, we would make that trade, or we would free that basketball player. But since it's a WNBA player, we're not going to do anything. What are your thoughts on that?
What's the race?
I think she's African American.
Well, as Vladimir Putin has shown with his very strong, very justified, very legal war in Uzbekistan, he is very into rule of law. He's a very rule of law person. And if you go in there, they said she had hashish oil. Have you ever heard of this? Hashish?
Yeah.
Sounds like an Indian tech stuff guy. Welcome to Google. This is hashish oil. And when you bring hashish oil, and it also rhymes to a truth social. Hashish oil, truth social.
Social hashish oil.
Ashisha, what if she had, if I were, she didn't hire me to be her lawyer, but if she had had Sydney Palace, she might have argued, no, it wasn't Hashisha, it was Truth Social. Sounds very similar, but it was Truth Social in her suitcase. And I think Vlad would have called me and said, sir, is this true that this very tall African American son of Melatoma had Truth Social in her bag? And I would say, I think she did. And let Barton go. And Barton would have come back with Truth Social, and we would have never been talking about Ashish Oil, who works for Google, by the way, very talented coder.
So, but do you think Biden or the U.S. government would free a huge NBA player?
Well, aren't they all huge? Aren't they all huge? They're all tall guys.
I'm saying notoriety.
Notoriety B.I.G. Remember him? Very good rapper. Very talented rapper. He was big. He was literally big. He called himself Big.
Right.
And what if they done? Remember Tom Hanks? He was in Big. That was pleasant before he got woke. Now they couldn't make Big. They couldn't make the movie Big. They'd say, no, not enough diversity. And it's so sad. One of our great films. But no, I think if it was Larry Bird, we should free him. But he wouldn't have been walking around with hashish oil. He would have been walking around with, Coors Light, like a nice American conservative beer. But I think Barton Grinder has to, just tell Russia that it's truth social, and I know Vlad will understand. But you don't go to somebody else's house and disrespect the rules, and rules are very important. And when they, even in our country, when you don't follow rules, you sometimes get a peaceful protest on January 6th, where somebody takes a tech stuff dump on Nancy Pelosi's desk. And I just think, I don't like LeBron. He's very woke. I think he's overrated and he's woke. But even LeBron, I don't think would get caught doing this. I think he understands enough about international business. He makes a lot of money. I think he's not as good as Michael Jordan, but I don't think he'd be caught with hashish oil.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad for her.
It's a terrible thing. And if I was president, she wouldn't even be captured. She wouldn't even be captured. It would never happen because.
Would you make the trade for the arms dealer?
I wouldn't just trade the arms. I'd give the arms dealer some arms and send them back to Putin and say, let's beat, let's win the war against Uvalde.
Last thing I want to talk to you about is President. Nothing political. As you know, I'm a big Jets fan. Zach Wilson.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. Okay. I'm a big Jets fan. Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback of the New York Jets. Young guy, rookie season last year. And I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of his girlfriend. You can Google her if you'd like. Very, very your type of girl, if you want to Google her really quickly.
Blonde, tall with fake tits and the last name Trump. That's
not the
my
last
type.
name Trump, but your type of woman.
I'm gonna look this skanky whore up. Zach Wilson's wife.
Zach Wilson's girlfriend.
Oh, I couldn't
technically
lock it down.
ex-girlfriend now.
Classic. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? She looks stupid and blonde, and he looks like a big gay Mormon. Is he heterosexual? He looks like a Mike Pence type.
Well,
she's a and I think somebody's gonna have to get an invitation to Mar-a-Lago. Move over, Bobert. Hello, Zach Wilson's stupid beard.
Well,
Zach Wilson's beard. That's what we're gonna get. Oh boy, this is okay. Tech stuff, as you can see, I'm doing very strong Googling right now, and she's got that hot blonde, but like those super dumb eyes, where there's nothing going on, and those great breasts, and he's just standing there like he looks like one of these youth pastors that like, I don't believe in premarital sex, sir, because I'm waiting for the Lord to sanction it. But what he's really doing is taking it in the poop chute at Christian camp. So good luck with that, Jets. Good luck with your, that when you have a quarterback, you notice when you had Tom Brady, a quarterback like Tom Brady, it's all about, you can see the judgment everywhere. So what does he do? He marries maybe the best supermodel in the world. He doesn't go. And then you have Zach Wilson calling an audible and saying, no, I'd rather date Mike Pence instead of a beautiful blonde who looks stupid.
It's his ex-girlfriend now. He cheated on her and is now dating or seeing his mother's best friend.
Oh, I wish I had mother's friend. Why can't I have a woman like that? She plays mahjong with my mom because she's old and something that rhymes with mom. Anyway,
you're the songwriter here.
Sometimes the bars come very quickly, and sometimes not so much. But I'm looking up. Wait, I'm trying to find a picture of this old woman that he's dating.
I haven't seen a picture of her yet. But what are your thoughts on him leaving that girl who you just saw for his mom's best friend?
Well, I got to see what the mom's friend looks like. But is this a picture of her? Oh boy. Oh wait, I think that's got to be his mom. It looks too much like him. I think they're showing a picture. They're not showing a picture of the new. Yeah, I think they're just showing pictures of Zach Wilson's mom, but we don't know. Oh, Zach Wilson's mom instead of Stacy's mom. Remember that song? Zach Wilson's mom has a friend that's got it going on. She's very old and she likes to fuck quarterbacks.
Wait, what is this picture right here?
Oh, he went to BYU. Oh, wait, is he a Mormon?
I think he is.
Then it just got a lot weirder, to be honest. Because that doesn't seem very Mormon.
I'm trying to find a picture of this woman.
Well, this is
a lot of the fans podcast. From what I'm reading online, people are saying that's awesome with a cougar. Everyone is very excited for him.
Well, he did go to BYU, and I think the BYU, are they Cougars?
Yeah, I think they are the Cougars.
BYU, they are how about that tech stuff? How about that? The BYU Cougars. It should be BYO Cougar. Bring your own cougar. BYO. How about BYO Cougars? What a total disgrace. If you're a Jets fan, this can't make you feel good. And what if you're his mom? What if you're Zach Wilson's mom and you're just going to your shopping trip, right? And your best friend says, oh, can I go to Victoria's Secret? And I also want to go and get some lube. I'd like to get some lingerie and some lube. I'm dating your son. And he insists that he's very straight, but will only do me in the butt if I'm wearing a football jersey. They call that Pence style.
I think it's very interesting. I think it's bad for the New York Jets or good for the New York Jets. The fans, what I'm reading online, is all the fans are giving him props and think it's cool.
Well, Jets fans were never much for class.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens here. And there's also rumors that now his ex-girlfriend is dating his Zach Wilson's friend to get back at him. So it's
that's a good friend.
It's a good reality show here at the New York Jets.
But what kind of worthless January 6th commission testifying friend starts date? I mean, that's not your friend.
No, definitely not.
I understand why she would do it, but your friend is supposed to say, "No, thank you, dummy."
Very strange. Mr. President, thank you so much for always joining us multiple times a month. Patreon.com/MPGA live episode July 28th, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's Shinzo Abe Palooza. If anyone wants to make a logo for that and throw that on Twitter, I'd like to see what Shinzo Abe Palooza looks like.
Not until the week of, please.
Yes, give it a little time.
A serious message from a very serious president. You can design something, and then on the 25th, you can send it to us if you choose to.
Yes. Anyone's in New York City, I got shows this weekend. I don't know any New York City people, listeners. I never say my city dates, but this Saturday at LOL Comedy Club in Times Square, 8:15, 9:30, and 10:45. If you're around, I'm there for 3 shows. Come on through. And if you haven't already checked it out, Something from Nothing, it is on Amazon and all video on demand. So check out my special. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tech Stuff. Hey, everybody, it's JL. If you're still listening, Boston this Friday, 7 p.m., City Winery, get your tickets, blah, blah, blah. My personal Patreon is also on fire, so go check that out. It's some really good stuff every week going up there. And other than that, hopefully my special comes. I should have news, may not be good news, but I should have news on this sort of biblical tragedy that is my first comedy special. So hopefully I have news to share in the next week or two on that. And like I always say, I hope I'm still alive when it comes out, because it's been a truly horrific and very long saga. So hopefully before 2075 it comes out. So stay tuned, everybody. Check out my other podcast, Righteous PK. Check out the Patreon. Check out this show's Patreon, of course, and tell a friend. If you're still listening, share this show with a friend this week. It helps no one if you keep it a secret. So if you're still enjoying it, and we have thousands of people who still are, tell a friend. Tell them they should get on it. And that's it, guys. So thank you for listening. Thanks for the support. Leave a review on Apple, and God help us all.